Are you ready to stop the self-sabotage and create the life you desire? Well, in order for that to happen, you need to break free from the bad beliefs that are holding your success hostage. You need to optimize the stress by turning it into extra energy for success. And those hurtful habits? Well, we need to give that pain a purpose for progress. Welcome to Stop the Self-Sabotage and Create the Life You Desire podcast. Did you see this one online? It says, I'm not adding this year to my age because I did not use it. But then we have to look at use it or lose it. And did you know that the brain will do more to keep from losing something than it will to gain? So whenever you decide to lose your dysfunctional ways of coping, your dysfunctional ways of giving away your worth in areas where they haven't earned it, when you go to let go of that, your mind will actually fight against you because it's how you've been programmed and conditioned to experience life for so long. I've got 2 clients right now that are going through stress, tension, strain, overwhelm, anxiety, low levels of fear, letting go of their dysfunctional ways of coping. See, we can think that whenever we do that, it's going to be like unicorns farting glitter rainbows and everything's going to come up roses. Well, roses have thorns and glitter is the herpes of the craft world. So it's not always going to be progress. There's going to be some pain that you go through to get to that progress. See, we're afraid to experience our worth, to live it, and to ask for it because of this. We were programmed for perfection, not progress. That was number one. We had to be perfect so someone else could be okay in their life. Number two, we realize that we're not there. So then we have to overcompensate for what we feel is the gap, and we constantly seek out people, places, and things to earn and prove our worth. And then from there, we make excuses for breaking the boundaries around what we value. Boundaries are simply a container for energy. And you had a beautiful soul that held the energy of you, and somebody broke into it, and they used part of that energy for their gain. And so now you continue to seek out people, places, and things that will continually break into the best parts of you, and they'll take it for their benefit. So I'm asking you to put boundaries back around who you are. Boundaries bless, rules restrict, and we actually have to have both of those. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about rules restrict, boundaries bless, and when you get those confused, you're a hot mess. But for today, we want to look at what is the container that you need to be in. Quit allowing your energy to seep out in performance, into seeking dysfunctional acceptance, and conforming. Why? Okay, here we go. What you do to perform is what they'll use to push you down because you'll never be able to perform good enough. What you do to be accepted is what they'll use to reject you because they're always moving the bar on the acceptance and what they will allow. And what you do to conform is what they'll use to control you. You seek out people, places, and things to prove your worth because you think at some level you have to be perfect. And so when I ask you to stop engaging in human doing and instead be a human being, sit in your worth to discover it. Oh my gosh, that sets off low levels of fear that again turn up as stress, anxiety, tension, overwhelm. You probably heard of post traumatic stress disorder. Have you also heard of post traumatic growth? It's what they discovered that some people would go through trauma experiences and actually come out better on the other side because they learned how to use the trauma instead of the trauma using them. Worked with a client last night who discovered that she's been performing her entire life. That's how she was controlled. You have to be a good little girl to keep mommy and daddy happy and to be accepted by the rest of the family. Can you ever perform enough? And now she's concerned as an adult. If she lets go of that performance, she has to let go of all of her relationships because she thinks that they were built on her performance. But that is an immature way to look at things based on the age she was when she accepted the imprint that she has to perform. So, an imprint is simply accepting an identity around an area. And the age you were when you accepted that identity in the area is the age you will continue to function at. And this younger you is going, oh my gosh, you're going to lose me. And remember, the brain will do more to keep from losing than it will to gain. So it's fighting for its very life, going, no, 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 don't give me up. And that's when you have to release the younger you from this dysfunctional contract that she continues to show up in life like this. Reveal, release, relearn, rejoice. We are in the relearn phase. And that says we have to give that younger you a new focus in life, a new experience, a new way of being. So if you choose to perform, you're going to perform for yourself. Acceptance comes from you, and conformity comes from you deciding to set boundaries around what it is you value, and you value you. It's setting boundaries around that and saying, this is my worth, and I'm going to sit in my worth. And if someone wants to come into my world, well, that's great. Um, uh, Let them come in, and how I respond is not based on who they are, it's based on who I am. The level of engagement they get from me, how much I'm going to be in an experience with them. Well, that's going to come from who they're being. But my being is based on my gifts. And here's your gifts: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self control. You have to have a level of spiritual maturity, and that comes through self control. Yet that younger you is going to fight you and go, oh, no, 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 no. That this is what we were programmed and conditioned to experience. You have got to reach out to that younger you and give her the experience of what she was missing all this time. Then she won't need to perform or seek dysfunctional acceptance or continue to try to conform that leads to being pushed down, rejection, and control. Okay, by the way, if I can assist you with this, because I know it's like, wow, she's throwing a lot at me right here. Personality aspects and previous programming and conditioning. I thought I could just listen to a few podcasts and I'll be okay. I'd watch a few videos and I'd be able to move into victory. I'd listen to some audios or read a book and I'd be able to turn on my brilliance. You were never intended to do this on your own, because if you could, then you wouldn't need anybody else in your life. And we are all meant to be interdependent. not codependent, but the ability to relate where we can engage and showcase brilliance and then trigger someone else's brilliance instead of being entangled and then having to disassociate from all those uncomfortable feelings. So, if I can assist you with this, let's have a conversation. 1-636-699-7791. You can leave me a voicemail that says you want to consult. You can send me a text and let me know you want to consult. Let me know what time zone you're in so I know what to offer you. But keep this in mind. Use it or you will lose it, and your mind will do everything it can to keep you from losing instead of gaining. So you need to set up a new agreement with the part of you that was conditioned and programmed for dysfunctional performance, and instead allow it to discover its brilliance, its gifts, and who you really are. And that is going to require you to sit in that love, sit in that joy, that peace, nothing missing, nothing broken, to be able to sit with it instead of always trying to push through. And that way you get to numb yourself out because you're always pushing for a place you'll never arrive. I don't want you just to go through something. I want you to go to, and what you're going to is who you really are.